Hi everybody, how are you today? Today I'm doing something really different and it's something that's really going to help push me out of my comfort zone. I've been thinking a lot about that lately and this whole idea of live streaming. When Periscope came out last year, I downloaded it shortly after it became a thing and I did some live streaming, but every single time it was like starting over. I'd sit down to live stream, I'd get everything ready to go. Melissa, hey, I'm glad you're here. I know there's a huge time difference between us, so I'm really glad you could be here. I'm going to start over because you're here. What I was saying is today I'm doing something very different, and it's a way to help me step out of my comfort zone because I've been doing some live streaming lately, and last year when Periscope came out, oh, thanks for the hearts, that's sweet. When Periscope came out last year, I downloaded the app, but it was really hard for me. I liked the concept of it, but every single time I sat down to live stream, I would stare at my camera and I would just freeze. And it didn't matter how many live streams I had done or the last time that I did it. And it just got so hard, I just gave up. But I've been thinking a lot lately about live streaming again because there's a coach who was doing a live stream challenge and I joined that and made a complete difference for me. Last week, I was so proud of me because last week I did 5 live streams. I don't think I've ever done 5 in a month. So I'm all about now getting comfortable in front of the camera and pushing out of my comfort zone because one thing I tell clients all the time is that everything you want is outside your comfort zone. Otherwise, you would already have it. And for me, I'm getting comfortable now live streaming. I did 5 last week. I've got 4 scheduled for this week. This is my second one this week. And I'm finding I'm liking it. I'm past the fear. And today is very different for me because I never come into a live stream without knowing what I'm doing, without having a topic, without having content. So this is kind of pushing me because this is more like, let's just get to know each other. What do you want to know about me? Pushing the envelope on my comfort zone. Peggy Lee, hey, I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you again. So what I'm talking about, Peggy Lee, is stepping out of my comfort zone. And the live streaming that I've been doing lately is really pushing that. And today, on today's live stream, I want to take that a step further. I want to be able to interact more with my audience. And so what do you want to know about me? And there's a reason for this. There's a friend of mine who's also a coach. She is getting out of her comfort zone, and she's doing something she's calling virtual teas, where she's just setting appointments to talk to people, to just get to know each other. It's not a sales thing. It's not trying to turn people into a client. It's just like her way of networking. And she suggested to me that I do the same thing, and I went, oh no, because that sounds totally scary. I don't know these people. Well, you two I know, but I don't know these people. I don't want to talk to these people. This sounds super scary to me. But yet this morning, and I woke up and I thought, you know what? This could be fun. Let's give it a whirl. In fact, we're going to take it a step further, and I'm going to let people get to know me in my live stream today. So feel free to type in anything you want, any questions you have, anything you want to know about me or what I do for fun or whatever. Just type away. And I know there's like a 30-second delay, so I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to look at the comments here. But I need to step out of my comfort zone. And this idea that my friend has for this virtual tea, it's her way of networking. It's like if you and I met at some event somewhere, we'd strike up a conversation, we'd start talking. It's her way of doing that. And I haven't been to a network meeting in a really long time. I get uncomfortable in big groups. I can kind of hold my own one-on-one, but if you put me in a big group, I'm the one sitting in the corner. I'm the one playing with my phone, pretending like I'm doing something important. So I thought that, how did I get started with tapping? Let me come back to let me finish my sentence. That's a good question. So I thought that this would be a way to stretch me, a way to do exactly what I tell my clients to do, and that's get out of your comfort zone. So here I am, I'm doing this, I'm opening up to questions. Peggy Lee's got a good one. How did you get started with tapping? Okay, well, this goes back. That's a really good question because as I'm thinking about it, it's like, I'm not sure how I originally found tapping, but it was something I was using on again and off again. And then when I started my coaching practice, the first incarnation of me, because our business is a reflection of us. As we grow and shift and expand, our businesses should too. So when I first started coaching, I had got a certification for a health coach, and I specialized in weight loss for women. And it wasn't so much about what are you eating, how much are you moving, what kind of oils are you eating, because there's good oils, there's bad oils. But it was more about what's going on the inside. Because especially for women, it's all about emotion. And we use food as a way to feel better, as a way to fill those voids that we have inside of us. And in working with my clients, I would help them fill those voids from the inside out. And amazing things would happen for them. But I started bringing tapping into that. And we would tap on how much we like ourselves to just kind of develop that relationship with ourselves. Because the more you grow in your appreciation for yourself, the more self-care just automatically comes into the picture. And instead of binge eating at night, you don't feel like you need it because you're feeling good within. And I started doing tapping then, and then I had been part of I was working with a business coach, and I joined a year-long mastermind program of hers. And one of the things we did is every quarter we got together live. So people were coming in. A lot were in the U.S. There were some from Canada and some from other parts of the world. One of the women in my mastermind was the Dr. Patricia Carrington, one of the modern day founders of tapping. And I got to spend time with her, and we did some projects together, and tapping is just amazing. And yes, Melissa, I do use other methods too. But then I had, as I was growing and I was working on my own shadow sides. Okay, so I'm going to be totally open and honest and forthright. As much as my weight loss clients were having these huge breakthroughs, and it was so fulfilling, and I loved what I was doing, and whenever they had a breakthrough, I would just get on this high that would last like for a week. I was having trouble getting clients. And it was all me. It was all me and what I felt I deserved, what I felt I was worthy of, how much money I felt like I could earn. Because all of that ties into our money energy. So I was continuing working on me. And then I had the opportunity to enter a certification program by Margaret Lynch. I don't know how many of you know Margaret Lynch. She's just an amazing tapper. And I went through her program. And I'm now certified by her. Teresa, hey! My neighbor to the south, how are you today? Today's theme is all about what do you want to know about me? So type away. I'm being full disclosure here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So feel free, type away, and I'll answer your question. So as I was working on feeling deserving to have clients, feeling deserving to have money, I took Margaret Lynch's program, and I am certified by her. And that was a big thing for me because I came to see that the weight loss coaching that I was doing with women, filling those voids from the inside so they don't rely on brownies, and what I was learning about money energy all comes down to our relationship with ourselves. And I am just, that kind of conversation just lights me up because the biggest shift that you can make in your whole life is to amp up how you feel about you because it changes everything. And it changes everything because it changes the energy that you send out. So therefore, it changes everything that you receive. And I have just witnessed miracles with my clients because even though we may be working, I'll give you an example, a weight loss client. We're working on helping her take better care of herself and not eating junk food all the time, actually like cooking herself some dinner. We started working on her relationship with herself, that of course amps up her self-care. And we got into a call one day, and she said, and I was asking her, how's it going since our last call? And, oh, thank you, Teresa. I'm so glad you're here because you're just awesome. I lost my thought. My weight loss client. So I was catching up with her, like, what's happened since our last conversation. And she had made the comment. She kind of did it offhandedly, too, like it was meaningless. She goes, oh, and by the way, I've noticed, too, that my boyfriend's treating me different. He's, like, treating me better. And she almost didn't even say it because she almost thought it was such an aside that it didn't matter. And it was everything. So I said to her, hold on a second. Do you know why that's happening? And she said, no. I said, you are deepening your appreciation for yourself. You are deepening your love for yourself and who you are as a person. You are liking you. And that changes the energy that you're sending out, and he's responding. And I heard her gasp, oh man. And she started crying, and I started crying, but I didn't want to let her know I was crying. Because this was all about her, not about me reacting to her. So I'm trying not to let her know that I'm crying, but that's the thing I really love doing. Because because I see we have all women on here right now, when you build your relationship with yourself, it creates a shift across your entire life. I have watched as clients found their dream job, stopped binge eating, got treated better by their partners, were making more money, got treated with more respect in the workplace, just like all of a sudden. It's because the energy that we send out changes when we take the time to build on that relationship with ourselves. When we raise the bar on what we feel we deserve. Because the thing with money energy, an expression that I've kind of latched onto lately that I find is really fun is, self-worth equals net worth. But money energy is very much tied into self-esteem energy. And I do a lot of this kind of tapping with that certification program I got through Margaret Lynch, because so much comes down to what we feel that we are worthy of receiving and deserving of receiving. And it doesn't matter how much you try to raise your income, like if you're self-employed with finding new customers or clients, or how many college degrees you go and get. You are never going to earn more because of that. You are going to earn more because you feel you deserve more, because you feel worthy of more. Beautiful, Peggy. Yep, that's what happened to me in the workplace. I changed the focus on me and not on the person who I felt was attacking me. Attacking you? Did I read that right? But it's not on the external stuff, because you could get degree after degree, do anything that you can to raise your station in the workplace. None of that's going to matter. It is, Teresa, and I didn't really realize how true that was until after I got that second certification with Margaret Lynch, because then it kind of hit me, wait a minute. I have been working on, like self-esteem energy with my clients, and yes, we're working on weight loss, but they're also making more money, and I didn't make the connection. I didn't make the connection until like last year. Like, Lynn, duh, they connect. They're the same kind of energy. So that's one thing. Tapping really helps with that. What I love about tapping is a couple things. Well, first off, it builds new neural pathways, which is really cool. You may have heard the term neuroplasticity. What's that game thing? Lumosity, I think, that talks about playing games to help with mental cognition and stuff. But in a couple of ways, what it does is tapping reduces that fight or flight response. So when we're in a stressful situation and we start tapping on it, it reduces the charge. And when you can reduce the charge enough, now instead of reacting to the situation, you can take conscious action. But what it also does is, because our brains, they're so amazing, and there's like 9 million things going on at the same time. Well, our brain tries to compartmentalize everything. So when something comes up, like a feeling, an emotion, it says, oh, we know this one. That one goes here. And going there may be to sadness. And to change that, you want to start tapping on those triggers. So we can start tapping on certain situations. I do a lot of visualizations too, because it helps to pull up what's going on the inside, and then we tap on it. If you can get to the root of the trigger, when you start tapping on it, you start building a new neural pathway. And now that same circumstance can happen to you, but instead of your brain going, oh yeah, we know that, and we go to sadness, it takes a different route now. And there's a whole lot of science to it, and I will be honest and say I don't understand all of the science to it. Hey Linda, hi, how are you today? Just as a recap, this is Ask Me Anything Day, so type away, I'll answer your questions. I'm being totally transparent. So the thing with tapping is that we can lessen that trigger, we can lessen that charge, so that now in a stressful situation, we can act instead of react, and we can change our patterns and our behaviors and our beliefs. We can actually change our limiting beliefs. And this is so cool. I've watched it happen with clients where, and when we change our beliefs and change our level of worthiness and deserving, it actually is life transforming. And once you get to that place, you're at that place. It's not like being on a diet where to maintain that weight, you got to stay on the diet. Once you've done that process and once you've come out the other side, you're there. And it's just so much fun. That's some of the things that I love about tapping and the kind of work that I do, because it's just fun to me. It's just fun. And I will say a lot of times when I'm in sessions with clients, they go to this really dark place and they're crying. And whereas I am sympathetic to what they're going through, I'm taking them there on purpose for a mission. And it's kind of weird to say I love doing that, because it's when they're in that place, they can see, and they come face to face with what's at play below the surface. And these things that we have at play below the surface, they're running us. We're humans, which means we're emotional creatures. And as much as we want to think we make logical decisions in this world, we are living our life from our emotion. And there's so many emotions that are at play below the surface. They're constantly. And what happens is we get into these unconscious patterns where we're living our lives by these low-level emotions instead of the ones that can bring us up. And that's what's so cool about tapping, because tapping creates that space for emotion and energy to move up and out. And that's what's so fun about it, because instead of having these low-level energies and these patterns that play below the surface that create self-sabotage, when we can get at what's going on in the inside, and this is where visualization is so much fun, because visualization done right, you can actually be communicating with your subconscious mind. It's totally freaky cool. And then we start tapping on that, and we give that energy the space to come up and out. Those negative beliefs and those repeated behaviors and that self-sabotage, they start to let go. They start to let go. So I hope I answered the question about tapping. If anybody has more questions, just feel free. This is all about me, getting to know you. But you know what? I'm sorry. I had a twofold purpose for being here. All right, I started this broadcast off by saying that I'm moving out of my comfort zone, which is why I'm here. But a friend of mine that is doing these virtual teas, okay, she wanted me to start doing these too. So what she's done, it's like her way of networking, because she lives in a pretty rural area, but she works globally. She's another coach. She got this idea to set up virtual teas. So she's been putting this out there on Facebook. She's been posting in some of the Facebook groups that she's in, just inviting people to come into a conversation with her. This is not a sales call. This is not about whether we're a good match to work with each other, whether what you're doing looking for me to be a client or what I'm doing looking for you to be a client. It's just all about getting to know each other. Like if we were at some event somewhere and we met each other and we just started talking. So she's putting these together, and in like a week's time, she's got 70 of these things booked. It's just amazing. And she was encouraging me to do the same thing. And I was going, oh, hell no, this sounds super scary. I don't know these people. But I think it's because I've been committed to live streaming, and I did 5 last week, and this is my 2nd this week. I woke up this morning, and it's really weird, because yesterday it was like, oh, hell no. And today it's like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this. So I'm putting the offer out there. If anybody just wants to get together for a little virtual tea, if you're in the U.S., we can talk via phone. We can talk via Skype or Facebook Messenger, which Facebook Messenger is doing some really cool things these days. So I'm putting that out there if you want to have a private conversation with me. And when I get this uploaded, I will put the link to my scheduler right below the video. So that is me stepping out of my comfort zone, because I tell clients all the time they need to do that for themselves, because everything they want is outside their comfort zone, or they'd already have it. So this is me walking my talk and saying, come have an appointment with me. So that was my 2nd reason for being here. And the other one is just to connect with everybody. What else do you want to know about me? Feel free to type in there. I'll hang here as long as I keep getting questions coming in. So, Teresa, how do you like Texas? I've been seeing some of your Facebook posts about the humidity. Oh, they make me laugh. But welcome to our great state. So, I know that there's a delay with Facebook, so somebody may be typing right now. So how about if I just tell you a little bit more about me while you're thinking of questions? You know what's really weird? Somewhere after I turned 50, I developed this huge sense of adventure. And some of the stuff that I've done after I turned 50, I wouldn't have done when I was in my 20s. It's just really cool. One of the things I did is I rappelled down a high rise in Dallas. It was super cool. Oh, I have a picture. That's me hanging off the edge of a building, about to go down, I think it was 16 stories. Totally fun. Oh yeah, one year I took my husband to Mexico and we did, you know those dive tank helmet things? They look like astronaut helmets. We did those things and we walked on the ocean floor. Super, super cool. Oh, and last year, when we went back to Mexico, we went swimming with the whale sharks. So they took us out on this boat into the middle of the Gulf. And water, 360 degrees around you. And you get in the water and you got these big ass whale sharks swimming by. It was super cool. It was totally terrifying because there was a tropical storm in the area and the waves were horrific. In fact, there were 10 of us on that boat. 5 of them were licensed scuba divers. And out of these 10 people, 5 were thrown up over the side of the boat. But me, who barely knows how to swim, has never gone scuba diving before, I'm going, oh, this is so fun, I just love this. Let's see, what's some of the other stuff that I have done after I turned 50? Oh, have you ever heard of the Edge Walk in Toronto? It's the CN Tower is the tallest building in Toronto. It's 1,200 feet up. It is the highest building in the world where you can get outside and walk all the way around. Super fun, super cool. As you can probably tell, I like doing stuff up on high. The higher I am, the better. I went skydiving once. It was amazing. Okay, so did you learn to visualize in your course to become a coach? Do you teach it in your program? I have done visualizations before, and I have been the recipient of visualizations before with the coaches that I've worked with. But I have to say that last certification program that I went through really took it to a much deeper level. And there are a number of different components to the kind of work that I do. But I have to say that the visualizing part, the visualizations are the most fun. That one of my clients said to me that she finds it to be the best sessions that we have. She just absolutely loves the visualization parts that I do. And it wasn't until I was in that certification program that I realized that I was learning how to go much deeper with them. And it's just really a lot of fun because you can learn so much about yourself. And in fact, well, let me rephrase that. So much can come out of that session because a lot of times you're in the depths of it, and when you're the one that's being walked through the visualization, you miss some of the things, some of the components that are going on there, and that's my job as a coach. And when I bring you out of that to say this is what happened, because sometimes you miss it. And there have been just some really stellar moments with visualizations, with helping clients to forgive themselves. Oh, I love doing work on forgiveness. If there is anybody in this world that you need to extend forgiveness to, it is yourself. And when I talk about forgiveness, I don't mean forgiving exes, forgiving somebody that did you wrong, forgiving yourself. Peggy Lynn, I am live streaming again. Hold on one second. I got my schedule here. Tomorrow at noon. Hopefully you'll be there. Bye, Peggy Lee. It's great to see you again. And I completely lost my thoughts saying goodbye to Peggy Lee. Okay, somebody remind me what I said. Or if there's another question. I can hang with you guys for a while. Anybody want to know anything else about me? Any questions about how I work? Let's see, what else is interesting that I can tell you? I met my husband on Match.com. We've been together 12 years now. In fact, November will be our 12th anniversary, our 12th wedding anniversary. I'm taking him back to Mexico. Visualizations. Okay. Specifically, what do you want to know, Melissa? Let me think about what I've already said about visualizations and what I can go back to. Okay, here's something I learned about visualizations and how to do them that were really, what's the word I'm looking for? Really deepened it all. I like to take clients through visualizations where they're visualizing other people being there and they're having conversations with those other people. And what really blows their mind is after I bring them out and they've been talking to somebody. Well, let me give you a living, breathing example. Client of mine. I forget exactly what I was taking her through visualizations on, but in the visualization process, what came up for her was a teacher. I think it was from junior high. In this crowd of people, there was this teacher from junior high. And she started dialoguing with this teacher. And this teacher, because I guess there was some bad blood there, she felt that he was being unfair to her. And we all have those moments from teachers, where we felt we were being picked on. Well, in this visualization process, she's conversing with this teacher. I took her to that place. And in the visualization, the teacher tells her that he always believed in her and always felt that she was something special. And there was a little more to it than that. I'm forgetting it all right now. But when I brought her out of that visualization, I had made the comment to her that, you do understand that when you're in the midst of that visualization and you're talking to somebody in your mind's eye, that's actually you talking to you. So it's different aspects of you on a subconscious level, talking with other parts of you on that subconscious level. And this is where we see a lot of the self-sabotage and stuff coming from. But to be able to have that kind of conversation, so, in coming out of it, she realized that there was this part of her that was totally accepting of her and totally believed in her. And I'm kind of taking it out of context, and I forget some of the specifics, but it's really stirring moments like that. Because anybody that you're dialoguing with in these visualizations, are you talking to you? And that's where you find out what's going on below the surface. That's where you can start to reconcile these things that are going on. And when you can reconcile those, behaviors change, beliefs change, and it's from that place that you can really amp up your life. And I'm not sure what you meant when you posted the comment on visualizations. Did I answer your question? And if there's something a little bit more you want to know, feel free to type. Let's see. While I'm waiting for you all to type, any other questions for me? Because I'm here, I'm transparent, and I am pushing out of my own comfort zone by just being open and giving honest answers to everything. So feel free to fire away. Let's see. What else can I tell you? Oh, what else do you want to know? Oh, I hear my cat. He might come up and jump in front of my screen so you get to see him. Okay, Melissa, I answered question. Cool. Okay. So, anybody else want to know anything else about me before we wrap for the day? Oh, and feel free. I'm going to post that link. So feel free to book an appointment with me. It's not a sales conversation. It's just to get to know, like if we were at a cocktail party together and just started talking to each other. So anybody, okay, Facebook has a 30-second delay. So I'm asking you right now, anybody have any more questions? How did I get started? Oh, there's a story to this too. You want the short story or the long story? All right, I'll do kind of the in-between. My first marriage, I was married 21 years. And the first 18 were pretty darn good. Gave me 2 amazing kids. But things started going awry. And quite honestly, there's some psychological issues at play there. But what happened those last few years really devastated my self-esteem. He was very emotionally abusive, and everything was my fault. And he became very controlling. He wouldn't even let me drive myself anywhere because he said I was reckless. And in retrospect, maybe I think I am. But that's not the point. He's not right. So what happened is I didn't like who I was. I didn't feel good about being me. And it actually took me like a year of wanting to leave that relationship before I had the strength to do it. because he had whittled away at my self-esteem so much. I felt so totally worthless. And I finally broke away from that. And I had a couple years between marriages. And during that time, I was thinking, because my son went to live with his dad in California, and my daughter was already 17. So here I am at this point in my life where my parenting skill, those parental years are winding down. What do I do with me? And as I was really thinking about that, I thought, I would really love to be a coach. But then there was that self-esteem thing, like, oh, who the hell am I? I can't help anybody. So I settled for being a massage therapist. But even with being a massage therapist, I felt like I had more to give. I felt like I wanted to make a bigger impact in this world. And I finally got to that place with healing myself. And I think that's why this whole relationship with self and self-esteem issue is such a big one for me and something I'm so passionate about, because I truly believe what we are here to learn is what we're here to teach. And I finally got to this place after building my self-esteem back up to the point of being able to actually go to massage school, of realizing I can make a bigger difference. I do have something to offer. And it took me well into my, I guess it was late 40s by now. Yeah, late 40s. Well into my late 40s to feel like I really had something to offer. And that's how I got where I'm at. And everything I teach, everything I use and work with my clients is stuff I've used myself, with my own issues, with my own self-esteem problems, with my own money issues. Everything I have learned along the way is what I bring into my coaching. Because if it didn't work on me, I'm not going to use it. And I developed, purely by accident, when I was doing my weight loss coaching, I started like what everybody else does. Okay, let's look at what you're eating. Let's look how active you are. And I started very slowly to bring in some of the things I was working with for myself. And I started to realize that when I started to bring in the inner work, my clients were making faster progress. And so I finally just skipped all the outer stuff. Forget all that outside shit. We're working on the inner stuff. And just by accident, by learning this here and learning that there and having this work for me, I developed a 6-month coaching program, that my signature program, that was all the inner stuff. Because I was so fucked up and so broken. I was doing so much work on myself. I have this whole toolkit of stuff that I could use on my clients. Does that make sense? I used it all on me first. And every time my coaching takes a shift, it's because I've dug deeper on what's going on inside of me. For so long, I felt like I was so broken inside. And, well, I said I was going to be transparent. Some days I still feel like a total fuck up and I'm all broken inside. And I've got nothing to offer and there's no reason for me to even be on this planet. But I used to live my life from that place, so there's progress. So, does that answer your question, Melissa? Because I'm open for more. I'm being fully transparent here. Everything I teach my clients is stuff that I've gone through myself. That's why, I think that's why this work on self-esteem is so fulfilling to me. Because I know how long it took me to rebuild my own. Okay. Any more questions? Let's see. It's 35 after the hour. I will take time for one more question if anybody has it. So meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that 30-second delay, feel free to book appointments with me. I would love to chit-chat with you and to get to know you more. And as soon as I finish here, I'm going to post the link to my scheduler. No obligation. It's just all about getting to know each other better. This isn't a sales call. It is me trying to get comfortable talking to people. So if you look at it from that way, you're helping me because I need to talk to people. So I really appreciate everybody being here today and all the great feedback that I'm getting in my comments and for all the hearts and thumbs up and stuff. So, I said it before, I am live streaming again tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow at 12 Central. And tomorrow, my whole topic is the magic of self-love. So I'm going to be talking about some of the stuff that I was talking about today that I didn't expect to talk about today. So, bye everybody.